Today is the 5th of March and we have plenty of news. One of them just came out, this non-farm employment change. Let's see how much it affected the market on the charts. Well, yeah, not much yet. We're gonna have some other news, PMI news, later in the afternoon. So I'm gonna wait for this non-farm employment change news to do its thing and see how much it affects the market. If not much, I'm gonna be interested to look for something. Let's do a very quick recap of yesterday. I could have shorted euro at New York Open, but I wasn't really interested in shorting. Could have gotten a 1 to 4, but I wasn't. I would have rather waited for a long setup, which we got actually, and I ended up longing GU, unfortunately not euro. We had this 4-hour gap here with London lows, swept this low here of London. We had a very long wick on the 1 hour with a bullish candle. So like New York opens, we did a retrace into this order block here. We swept this low, came into the 4-hour gap and closed this candle like this. And I was like, okay, let's wait for a break of structure. We got it, and I was like, all right, I'm in. And unfortunately, I did not set my stop loss under this hourly low. I set it right over, at the level of this liquidity sweep, this 4-hour gap, and I barely got wicked out, and price ended up doing a crazy rally. So it could have been a crazy 1 to 6.5 trade. I'm not disappointed. I'm actually pleased that I was correct with the bias. So yeah, if you're interested in this whole trade, I recorded everything and it's up on YouTube. But let's delete everything now. We don't need this. Same thing, we don't need this now anymore. Dollar, let's clear things up. Okay, quickly, let's go to the daily. What do we have on GU? So yesterday, alright, on Monday, we inversed this daily. I thought that we're gonna come back into this day fair gap here. No, we didn't. We inversed this day fair gap, indicating that, okay, we're gonna come for these highs, and we did. We already came for these highs here. And this day, we're gonna see whether it's gonna be just a sweep, or we're gonna close strongly above this high, targeting these highs later. So we will see whether this is a liquidity sweep, or we just form another daily strong candle like Monday and Tuesday. By seeing this momentum here, I'm guessing we are not just sweeping and continue the trend. However, today we might gonna see a little retrace, because probably a lot of people taking profits here, or have their sell entries, short entries here, short limits. So a little pullback into this order block, this daily order block, could easily be the case. On the 4-hour, as we can see that London opened here, and prior London we already pushed a little to the upside from yesterday's highs with a 1-hour fair gap in alignment to this previous day high. And yeah, once we reach this high here, this high time frame drawn liquidity, as you can see, there was no pullback. All right, sorry. So little technical difficulties here. So previous day high, I'm gonna mark it out. Bam. Previous day high. Previous day low. Bam. Easy peasy. On euro, we have previous day high here. Actually, guess that's previous day high, right? No. Alright, previous day high here. Previous day low here. So Tuesday was a good day. Tuesday. I could have shorted here, but I was waiting for this move here since my bias was bullish, and yeah, I'm not disappointed with that loss. So that was previous day also, yeah, here, nice. So back to the 4 hour. Currently we are forming a 4 hour very small fair value gap here on GU, and Euro we have a slightly bigger one here. In 38 minutes we're gonna close that. I'm gonna mark it out already just in case, and later on I can like adjust it if price wants to move lower. But I don't think price will come back to this low. It could easily. We will see. And yeah, that's all I see on the 4 hours. So we can easily draw down, disrespect this for fair gap, or use it as our support, I guess, and move price higher. Overall, my bias should be bullish. However, since we are at this on GU at least, at this high time frame drawn liquidity, Euro we already went way above that high that we have it. Wait, is that the same high even? This was at December. Friday, December 6th. This was December. Okay, yeah, this is the same high. So G is a bit slightly bit late with sweeping this high, but yeah, bias should be bullish. I could wait for this 4 candle to close like that, and a retrace into this 4 fair gap on both of these pairs could easily be imaginable. Maybe sweep this 4 hour low even, or sweep this London low. Not London low, I mean just coming into this order block and then see like a break of structures to the upside can be a great indication for long. Euro seems to be a bit more strong than the GU, that's for sure, on the 1 hour at least. So it could be because of this high time frame sweep here now that we have on GU. So on the 30-minute, I'm gonna mark out London highs. So this was a London high here, right there. I'm gonna mark it out with this purple color here. London lows was this here, but fuck it, I'm gonna mark it out on GU. And on Euro, this is our London high here, and this is the London low here. So you can see we are a bit more far away from this London low in Euro, because in GU we are already past that. Yeah, we are likely just heading back to this 4 FR gap that we are likely gonna do in the next 1 hour. Tap back into that low. Do I want to short into that 4 FR gap? Maybe after liquidity sweep of these London highs. There could be a small SMT here. Yes, there is an SMT here on the 15-minute, indicating that price, at least on the low, shorter run, I guess, wants to go a little bit up. A bullish SMT divergence there. just like this one. As you can see, there was this here and this here, price went up, and another one now, this here, price is likely gonna go a little bit more up here, but I think we're just gonna sweep a high, likely on euro, and we are pretty unlikely that we're gonna sweep this London high on GU, hopefully form a bearish SMT, and then the 4 hour candle closes, so price will start coming back into this 4 hour gap. I think that's gonna be the case. In that case, I'm gonna be interested in a short. If I see a bearish SMT and a sweep of a high here in euro, that could be nice. There was a 5-minute bearish fair gap here. We already tapped into it, and price came back into many times, indicating that euro wants to quite literally sweep this high here, at least this high, and hopefully also come into this, maybe even sweep this high. That could be nice, just to form the bearish SMT. We had this bullish 50-minute fair gap, we respected it, so no bearish 50-minute fair gap here. We formed a bearish one here though on GU. In fact, we inverse, there was a bullish one that we disrespected by forming a bearish 50-minute fair gap, and now price is gonna probably struggle to come up to this high. I think it's quite unlikely that this 15-minute bearish fair gap gonna be disrespected, and there could be a 5-minute SMT forming once euro sweeps these highs here. The GU is pretty unlikely to sweep those highs and just probably come up here, forming a bearish SMT, and we can look for a potential 5-minute breakout structure and enter off of that. We still have 30 minutes though to close this 4 hour candle, so what also can happen in the next upcoming minutes, next upcoming half an hour, is that London even comes up to this high, sweep this high, and form a bit higher confluence, higher probability SMT, and GU is very unlikely to gonna come up here as euro will, and form a bearish SMT divergence, indicating that we are ready to short with a 5-minute breakout structure. So that's okay, that's good. I'm gonna put this somewhere, somewhere here at 3 p.m. in my time. I'm gonna delete this since I think we're not going long now for sure, so I don't really care of that. Yesterday price like GU and euro followed each other like the structure wise very well. There was no sign of SMT whatsoever, at least in London and New York Open. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is now wait for a sweep here. At least a sweep of this high here would be nice on euro. Ideally come up even for London highs, sweep that, don't close any 50-minute candle above that high, and then I would be ready for a short, targeting this 4 hour fair gap here, and maybe even this breaker here. There's no breaker actually on euro, but target this order block area here, just like what happened here. So London went up, New York opened, swept London high I believe, and came back into this order block of previous day's highs. Same structure could happen today, same very similar entry, and now I'm not gonna miss that short if that will happen. So it's likely gonna be a very similar day as yesterday, which is cool. We tapped into the 50-minute bearish fair gap on GU hope this is recording, by the way. Yes, it is. Tapped into the 50 minute. As you can see, it's struggling. Euro coming for sweeping these highs. Let's see where we are on the hourly. Okay, if we would close this 1 hour candle, however, over this high here, well then we might not gonna come back into this 4-hour gap, or at least not now. Maybe later today in the PM session. But if this 1 hour candle closes above this high, and especially this high here, it's likely just wants to do a little smaller retrace into this New York open area and then move higher. Because if, like the same thing, if the 1 hour candle closes above this high here, that means this 4-hour candle will leave a bullish body here and a long wick to the downside, meaning it's a bit more unlikely that it's gonna retrace into this 4-hour gap. It could happen, but if it closes with a bullish candle, with the top being over this high here, over this 4-hour candle high, then in my eyes at least, that means we're just gonna continue to the upside. Let me actually check what we can target, where price is heading right now. There was this breakaway gap here, which I mentioned in previous videos, that price likes to close a candle overlapping this fair gap, so not only a wick but whole body overlapping a breakaway gap. What high we can target is, I mean, obviously there's this little order block here, but this daily high could be one target for this week. Also this daily fair value gap here could be another one. And if that's gonna be disrespected, then we can, price will likely come to these highs. What I think is gonna happen is we're gonna come up to this area here, do a retrace, or even the next day, or maybe even today, do the retrace into this breaker here, because we've been very bullish on Euro and GU. Dollar has been very weak this week, and I think they need a retrace soon. But yeah, so these are the highs that we could technically target. For the short that I'm looking for, that is about to happen actually, Euro just swept recently, came up into this London highs, prior New York Open London highs. So we can target this low here, TP1, and then the London low. We can target that as TP2, and as TP3, the bottom of this, I mean the order block top could be our TP3 here. I'm gonna de-risk since there's plenty of news later today, and things can change easily. As you can see, we did the SMT that I mentioned is gonna form. As of now, it looks like it is gonna form. Hopefully this is gonna be just a liquidity sweep here on the 5-minute, and if so, then I'm gonna maybe look for a nice entry here, maybe even on the 1-minute. But let's see how the 4-hour candle is doing. Yeah, okay. 15-minute. The thing is, we are about to form a 15-minute bullish fair gap. Not ideal if I would want to short. We have some 5-minute fair gaps here. This one is not really noticeable, not really relevant. This one neither. But yeah, let's see whether this was just a liquidity sweep or not. And as I said, if price even wants to come up here, this high here, to sweep London high, that would also be nice. A bit more higher, bit higher confluence. So let's see. What also can happen is just this price is now gonna come back into this discount array, this equilibrium level, and push the price above London highs to sweep it. But what also could happen is that we're just gonna sweep this now and move lower. We have this SMT here. Nice. Okay. So there was a 15-minute bearish fair gap here that looks like GU wants to hold as of now at least. And Euro is currently deciding whether it wants to move higher or lower. I think it wants to come up here, but I'm not sure. Let's see what the dollar is doing. Dollar also is showing weakness now, but oops. Okay, but it also very badly needs a retrace, at least into this order block here. As you can see, there's a 4-hour fair gap here that we respected, and another one that we haven't mitigated it. And I think once we sweep this low, dollar gets some strength and come back into this 4-hour fair gap, indicating that we can start looking for shorts. However, on the 50 minute, as you can see, we inversed a bullish fair gap, but it could also be that we're gonna inverse the inverse fair gap, and the price just wants to come down for this sweep here, this prior New York open London low. So let's see, was this a sweep? No. That's why I think we gonna push a little bit more down on the dollar, and Euro and GU gonna be pushing a little bit more up and form this 15-minute or 30-minute SMT, which is a bit more high probability than our 5-minute SMT. But what also can happen is that we're just not gonna sweep and inverse the inverse fair value gap here. Bam. Or come back into this inverse fair gap and then do the sweep and then move higher. So these are the scenarios I see what's gonna happen on the dollar, but I do not think that the dollar is gonna move lower today. It already came into this order block area here, and it desperately needs to come back, do a little retrace. It's been very weak, way too weak, and at least coming back into this for a fair gap does not hurt the dollar. I'm gonna mark out London high here. London low is our liquidity sweep here, but I'm gonna mark it out. London low. On the 30 minute, I wanted to do this. What I like to do is mark out this 30-minute wicks. Here and there. Nice. Why is it? Oh, that's why. Ooh. Okay. Maybe it's a bit too much. 30%. Sorry, guys. I really need to see this. Okay. So we might not just gonna sweep it and just move higher. This could also be the case on the dollar. But this inverse fair gap will decide later how much it wants to affect the dollar's move. So on the 4S, you can see GU is much weaker and Euro is much stronger just by seeing the body's color. One is bullish, one is bearish, and one has only formed a smaller, and the other has formed a bigger for fair gap here. So ideally, I would want to short the GU. However, I'm gonna be honest, I did not do my homework and look into which pair to short or long based on the SMT. Um, I'm gonna do it a bit later today. But I would much rather short a euro just because it also has to come back into the 4FR gap, and it's probably gonna do a much bigger percent move than the GU. Yeah, so we have a bit more room for failure on euro if we would want to short with a much tighter stop loss and bigger risk to reward. So I think I'm gonna short euro once I see some kind of confirmation that price wants to move lower. GU respected this 15-minute bearish fair gap. What's interesting is euro is forming currently a 15-minute bullish fair gap, but it looks very, very likely that this 5 minute was just a liquidity sweep here. Just like that. What I could do now is enter off of based off, like just off of that, put my stop loss there and target 1 to 2, something like this, so that there's still room for this sweep of London high. But yeah, I do not want to do that. I like to be 100% sure of something, but this could be a 1 to 4 if I would have shorted now. But yeah, let's see how the dollar is gonna react to this 50-minute inverse that it's forming currently. We have this bearish 5-minute fair gap that the dollar just came into. We also have one here. So, and it's currently forming this 50-minute inverse. Ideally, I would want to have a clear sweep of this low on the dollar, so that the euro and GU can still push a bit more high. I mean, not GU, but euro. I'm not really interested in shorting GU. Looks like this 5-minute fair gap held so far. The next 1 minute is 15-minute candle will close like that. Probably we're gonna come back into this inverse, tap into it and hopefully sweep this low. But if this candle leaves a long wick like that, we might as well just fill this up, completely disrespect this and inverse in the next candle, and yeah, we can see like an inverse 50-minute fair gap, inverse 50-minute fair gap. But let's see what's gonna happen. Ideally this sweep gonna happen soon enough. Our short would have been pretty nice so far on euro. If we disrespect this 15-minute fair gap, that's also like a good indication that we did the sweep, this prior New York Open, like a London lower high sweep. So if we disrespect this fair gap, that's kind of already an indication that we are starting to go lower to this 4 fair gap. in that case I can put my stop loss to this high, enter right under this 50-minute fair gap, and have my first TP at a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and second TP at like a 1-to-2, and the third TP at a 1-to-3, which is nice. And then we can target previous day high as the TP4, but I don't know if I would want to do that. Let's see what's gonna happen now. The dollar should move down now. Yes, it's moving down. The 50-minute candle closed like that, a long-wicked bullish candle. So what could happen now is that form a slight 5-minute bullish. No, it won't happen anymore, but it might as well just does the retrace into equilibrium, which it almost did. I'm gonna only risk like 0.5%, just in case, because of the news. It's kind of a lower probability trade today. Like around the 0.4. Lot size gonna be nice. Looks like euro wants to move higher, sweep this London high. That's even better for us. That kind of means that the dollar hasn't yet done its job and wants to sweep this London low, prior New York open London low, which I initially thought will happen in the previous 5 minutes, but it did not want to. Let's see, GU is very weak. It's probably gonna respect this 50-minute fair gap. As you can see, it almost did not even move, while the euro is skyrocketing due to this 5-minute bullish fair gap also under it, which it hasn't even tapped into, and it doesn't really care at all of this long wick bearish candle here, pushing the price higher. So this bearish SMT divergence, we don't need this anymore, since it's likely gonna form a higher high than London and just sweep that London high. Yes, the dollar is also coming to sweep this low here nicely. And yes, the other scenario that could also happen is, which I think is unlikely, is that we're not gonna come back into this forward fair gap, but I think since this candle gonna close in the next 10 minutes, it has easier room to come into here. But it really depends how this candle will close in the next 10 minutes. Hopefully we will see just a sweep here of this previous of this London high here, and instantly see a push to the downside. That would be nice. Alright, looks like euro is sweeping this high here. I think it just did, like barely, but it did. Yes, it did. It did. And GU is obviously way too far of it. It's a clear bearish SMT divergence, and hopefully we won't form any 5-minute bullish fair gaps here. And once we disrespect this equilibrium level, I'm gonna be quite confident to look for a short entry, because that would mean that we just swept this London high here. The dollar also is currently sweeping this London low here. Yes. So ideally in this next 9 minutes, this bearish candle here on the dollar gonna be very small, just like here, and euro ideally this bullish candle also gonna be very small. GU, I don't even care about GU anymore. Um, so yeah, let's see. Hopefully this 5-minute bullish fair gap won't form, and once it gets disrespected, we can actually do like this. Like a nice risk reward, stop loss above highs. But obviously, I'm gonna wait for this 4 candle to close first. And what also could happen is that on euro we close this candle like this in the next 8 minutes, and then the next 4 hour starts, sweep this high, and then move lower to this 4 hour fair gap. That could also be the case, so I have to be careful not entering early. I could easily get stopped out of my position. Looks like this 5-minute fair gap won't be forming, which is very nice, very cool. So I'm probably gonna wait for this 4 candle to close, then sweep this high here, this 4 high, or if not, then just push lower to this 4 fair gap, and I'm gonna enter then. There's also bullish 50-minute fair gap, which I gotta be careful of, which is quite similar, in a quite similar position as this inverse fair gap on the dollar. So yeah, the dollar hasn't yet came into this 50-minute bearish fair gap, this inverse fair gap here. But as I said, ideally this body also leaves a long wick, indicating that we just swept here, just like the euro is doing, exactly how I said. And we don't form any 5-minute bearish fair gap, and we came into discount price now. Let's see whether it wants to do one more high or not. But if we break structure on a 1 minute, that's kind of indicating that we are not gonna move higher, at least not in this 4 hour. Euro is actually GU is actually falling already. Started to do its retrace into this 4 fair gap that it's gonna close this 4 candle in 6 minutes, and it doesn't have it won't take him a lot of energy to come into this 4 fair gap, into this order block here. That's why I'm not really wanting to short GU, since I wouldn't have a nice risk to reward as nice as on euro. I mean, look at this perfect SMT here. Long wick now. Very nice so far. So far it looks good. On the 1 minute, this equilibrium level held well so far. But yeah, we might just gonna break structure to the downside on the 1 minute soon. We don't know yet. The 4 candle gonna close in 5 minutes. The dollar looks like it also is still at this sweeping level. If this 50-minute candle closes below this low, however, now that's something interesting, because that would mean that the 4-hour candle is not really willing to come back into this for a fair gap, at least the next one. So once we close this, the next one. However, what I don't really get, hopefully you guys know, why is it that the dollar has 2 hours left from the 4 hour, but euro and GU has only like 4 minutes? Why is there a 2 hour difference? I do not know why, but interesting. Anyways, let's see on the 1 hour what's going on. We have a 1 hour fair gap also here inside this 4 fair gap on the dollar. And yeah, it should ideally just sweep this low and move up into this 4 hour, 1 hour fair gap, coming for these London highs. Let's see how the euro is doing so far. On the 5 minute, we see that there was no bearish 5-minute fair gap, and for some reason, whatever, I forgot. GU just chopping around, nothing much happening. Yeah, all I can do now is wait for this 4 candle to close and see maybe whether the next 4 candle open wants to sweep this low or not, and wants to sweep this high or not on euro. And off of that, I'm gonna be able to look for a trade. I could also just gamble and put like a stop loss above this level here and target these lows, this 4 fair gap. Let's see whether this has a 1 hour fair gap also here. Yes, this 4 fair gap also has a 1 hour fair gap inside it, and our TP2 is exactly at the top of that 1 hour fair gap, so it's nice to see. There is no other 1 hour fair gaps here. That was the one that we respected so far. Let's see whether price wants to move higher or not. GU is also kind of deciding whether it wants to disrespect this 50-minute fair gap or not. There's also a small 30-minute here, small, very small 30-minute bearish fair gap here. But I don't like to mark out 30-minute fair gaps. So the 4 candle gonna close in 2 minutes. Let's just wait for that to happen. In the meantime, let's keep an eye on the euro, how it's performing, and whether it wants to form a higher high or not on the 5 minute. So far it looks like it wants to do a higher high, and it will. You see this 1 minute like very strong, and then came into this 30-minute wick here of London high. They started to sell, and then very strong push, bullish trend, and then came into it again, and it's like, okay, let's sell again, and again a very strong push, and now it's just consolidating. But as you can see, we don't see as big of a retrace here now, since we already tapped into it many times, meaning that we kind of want to push above this level on the 1 minute at least. On the 5 minute we have a similar situation, like very strong push, tapped into it, okay, we're gonna move lower, no questions. Then what happens? Strong push, as you saw on the 1 minute, that's very, very strong 1 minute candle. Came back up again, a much weaker retrace, and now one more strong push and an even weaker retrace. So what also could happen is we just continue the trend higher, which is the more unlikely scenario in my head to happen, is to close this 4 candle and just move higher. We're gonna close this candle in 5 seconds. Nice. Looks like we are about to push lower. Let's see whether we're gonna sweep this 4 high or not in this next 4 candle. Let's see how the dollar is doing also. On the 15 minute we can see that we did the sweep much more clearly than on euro, and now price is hopefully gonna do a retrace, disrespecting this inverse fair gap, and push into this 1 hour 4 hour fair gap. So let's see how this 4 hour will play out. You see there's a small 5 minute breakaway gap here, and sellers are getting strong now. I think I'm gonna enter a short very soon. My TP1 would be a 1 to 2. I'm still curious whether this 4 candle wants to sweep this high or not. So gotta wait for that to happen. There's also a, I believe, there is a 50-minute bullish here, but do I want to wait for that? I don't know. I'm not sure. According to my trading plan that I haven't actually finalized, which I will do tomorrow or today. According to my trading plan, I should wait for, in a 1 hour bullish and a 4 hour bullish trend, I should wait for at least a 15-minute break of structure, which would mean I should wait ideally for this 15-minute fair gap to be disrespected, close a candle up below this low, and ideally below this 15-minute bullish fair gap. That would indicate that we broke structure to the downside and continue lower, but then my stop loss would be quite worse. Not like terrible, but like first TP would be at a 1-to-1, second at a 1-to-1.7, and third would be at a 1-to-2.7. So I would love to predict on the 5-minute whether we're gonna break structure and move lower or not. So let's wait for that to happen. GU is struggling still in this 15-minute bearish fair gap, and the dollar, as of now, it looks like it hasn't done. Job not finished. Sweeping this low here. So yeah, we actually closed the candle, 15-minute candle, in this London low territory, prior New York Open London low territory on DXY. And yeah, let's wait for things to play out here. Let's see where the drawn liquidity is on the dollar. Well, there's a daily fair gap here that is similar to the bearish fair gap on the euro that we saw. There's also this daily low here that price might want to go to today, but ideally it does the retrace. And I mean, this breaker here could also be that we marked out, I think, yesterday. And obviously this level here, which would be in alignment to this 1 hour and 4 hour fair gap. So ideally we're gonna see a retrace soon. The issue is that news gonna come out very soon. I mean, 3:45 and 4 p.m. It's only 1 hour away, 56 minutes away, and if I would enter a trade, it should be very soon. So even if the news come out and it's against me, I can take out the money. You know what I mean? So I can cancel the trade, and the price won't rush into my stop loss. These news are not that high impact, I think. PMI. So I would have time. But looks like price just wants to move lower. What also can happen is that now it's just gonna fuck around and the news come out, and then we do the retrace. So the news should be bullish for the dollar in order for us to be able to short euro and GU. But I do not want to wait 55 minutes. But obviously, if there's no setup for me, I'm not gonna enter any type of trade before news or after news. Looks like we are forming a quite more clear liquidity sweep here. Oh yes, that was a big push now. And the dollar is probably also falling, yes. So this was unlikely a liquidity sweep. I mean, it really depends how this 5-minute candle, this 15-minute candle will close. But yeah, it might as well just rebust and won't stop until there's a small 4-hour inverse here. But it's been months since we were at this level here, so I think the dollar just wants to sweep this low here or come into this daily and then do the retrace, and we might have to wait for news to come out in order for us to see this retrace into this 4 and 1 hour fair gap. Just like yesterday, we couldn't enter a short. However, today is a bit different because now price does not do the retrace. however does the up move, and then hopefully in the PM session does the retrace, and we can enter in the PM session later. So as of now, euro is pushing to the upside. What I'm also thinking about is that now that it's clear that this 4 candle won't, it's quite unlikely that it's gonna come back into this 4 fair gap now in this 4 hours. What I'm thinking is, if I don't see or if I see a 15-minute or 30-minute candle close this high up like that now, above this London high, this prior New York Open London high, then I'm gonna wait for retrace and might long it. As you can see, also GU has completely disrespected this bearish fair gap, but still forming a bearish SMT divergence here. So I mean, you can tell if you go to the lower time frame and adjust this we don't need. So there is still a bearish SMT formation, but we really need to see like a long wick, like a very strong sellout very soon in order to confirm that we want to move lower. However, this is the SMT that I'm talking about. So yeah, let's see whether we're gonna close a 15-minute or 30-minute candle above this prior New York Open London high. If not, if we won't close a candle like this, then I'm still considering shorting. If we do close a 15-minute or 30-minute candle above this high, then it quite literally means that we might do a small retrace in the next 15 minutes and then push the dollar lower and push the euro and GU higher towards this area here. So that could also be the case for the day. There's also a 30-minute fair gap here forming, and we have this 15-minute down here, but I don't think price wants to come down here. Let's see. But it can easily come into this high here that we initially thought was a liquidity sweep. But this 15-minute candle has to close like with a strong body to confirm that we're just gonna move higher. If GU wants to move higher, probably it's just gonna target this high here that it formed during London. I don't really know if there's any other high time frame drawn liquidity. There's a small daily fair gap also here, and a breakaway gap above that right here, as you can see, this breakaway gap here that it could draw towards for. That's crazy. This daily high here also this daily high below this daily fair gap here. So these could be the targets for GU, but for euro it's a bit more obvious, I believe, where it wants to go now. So let's see how this 15-minute candle will close. I think it's likely just gonna push higher and higher, and dollar is likely just gonna push lower and lower. In that case, the dollar should also have a small retrace into this order block area, maybe into this inverse also. Let's see equilibrium levels where they are. Yeah, inside this London low area. So sweeping this, I believe it was a coming to maybe into this 1 hour fair gap, but I think it will do it in this hour. On the 30-minute, maybe coming to this 30-minute bearish fair gap. On the 15-minute, there's no 15-minute bearish fair gap. That's the issue. Currently forming 5-minute bearish fair gaps. There is an engulfing bearish 5-minute candle here. that could have kind of indicated that this is gonna happen. G is also pushing strongly now. So yeah, let's see. Ideally, a small retrace into equilibrium on both of these pairs would kind of mean that we could enter for a long, especially if this 50 minutes candle gonna close like that above this high. That would very much indicate that we are unlikely to come back into this 4 and 1 hour fair gap and just move higher towards these levels. Yeah. So the best case scenario now in my head is that we're gonna close this candle like that, hopefully with a strong long body. Come back into equilibrium price, maybe even tap into this 15-minute fair gap and push price higher towards those levels that we marked out here. That could be a nice scenario. Continue the trend to the upside. What else could happen is that the other case scenario is that despite the fact that we're gonna close this 15-minute candle like that, we're gonna close a 50-minute candle below this 50-minute fair gap. In that case, I'm gonna wait for a small retrace into equilibrium or an order block, a 5-minute order block, and then once we get a 1-minute break of structure, we can target these lows here and go with the initial short idea. I mean, just look at this 4-hour candle. Dollar should also come back, do a small retrace, but ideally not into this inverse fair gap, but at least into this area here on the 30-minute, into this 30-minute fair gap. You see this breaker is at exactly in alignment to the equilibrium level, but price could easily just move lower. So yeah, there could be also potential for a 1-hour bearish fair gap formation. Looks like this 50-minute candle closed very strongly above this high here, so above this London high. So now we're doing the retrace. We just came into this 5-minute bullish fair gap here, but I think price won't really care and tap even into this order block here at least. Maybe even sweep this low here, sweep this 15-minute low, tap into discount price and move higher. I want to mark out both of these equilibriums just to keep in mind. So in between this area, sweep this 50-minute low would be nice. but like really fast. Just calm down and then close the candle here. So we close the candle above this London high area. But what also could happen is that we don't even come down here and just move higher. But I think the dollar wants to do the retrace now, so euro should be also a bit more weak. I think it's gonna disrespect this 5-minute bearish. Yeah, I think it will come back into this in-between area here. If it inverses, that's also nice. That would mean that if we close the 30-minute candle above this sweep level here, that would mean that we might as well just move up to this 4-hour gap and go with the short idea. Oh wow, yeah. That could also be nice. G is also forming this 15-minute bullish, but on the 5-minute it's already formed the multiple ones. If it disrespects this breaker, that also aligns with the short idea that we can go with. On euro, but let's see how the dollar and euro gonna respect this 5-minute fair gap here. So the short idea would be, I believe, like forming lower highs here and target one of the recent lower highs as our stop loss, and at least aim for 1-to-1 for our first TP. So ideally the recent high will be above this level here, above London high. What many people would say is like an inverse fair gap and like a head and shoulders. I think that's how they call it. So like this is the shoulder, head, shoulder, and then move lower, close the candle below. It's 15 minutes and I can put my stop loss above this high here or this high here. But let's see how this 5-minute fair gap can hold or not. The reason why I think it won't hold and the price still could potentially go higher is that it kind of needs a retrace. This bearish SMT divergence is still there though. We gotta keep that in mind. I think what's gonna happen is now we're just chopping around, fucking around, and the news gonna come out in 40 minutes and we do the retrace either this way, or if the news gonna be bearish for the dollar, continue to this downside here. So I might as well just gonna wait for news to come out, honestly, to have a bit more higher chance, higher probability trade. News gonna come out in the upcoming 10 minutes, tens of minutes. One of them at 3:30, 3:45 and 4. 3:30 GBP news. Alright, news came out for the dollar being good. Even though the news came out good for the dollar, it's still rushing for these lows here desperately to sweep them at least. And we have 9 minutes left until there's a bit more high impact news for the dollar to come out. Hopefully they're also gonna be very good for it, so we can do the retrace, you know what I mean. So the move for the dollar has been since today a very long move, 1.3%. Euro's move today has been also very big, 1.66%. I mean relatively big. And for GU it's 0.8%, not as relevant. GU is very close to reach this level here that we marked out. It's basically a daily fair gap, this very old daily high here. So it might want to come up there, but I'm very interested to wait for a retrace on these pairs. So hopefully in the next 8 minutes we will see some kind of reaction. If not, and the news gonna be bad for the dollar, or similarly the dollar won't care, then just do the move, continue the move lower, and sometime once London ends in the PM session, just we had yesterday, start the move to the other side, which is today gonna be the retrace itself. So the retrace was the main move yesterday in the merge, and we have the main move now during the London-New York merge, and I expect a retrace at the end of this merge. So let's wait for that. But hopefully the news gonna come out and it's gonna be already in our favor for the short. We have this very strong 1 hour candle here. What also could happen is we have this 50-minute fair gap here, so we could technically come into here, into breaker, and move higher off of that. So maybe the news gonna be good for the dollar. Does this retrace here? I mean, maybe the news gonna be overcomplicated. The news gonna be bad for the dollar, so the dollar, no, the news gonna be good for the dollar, so euro falls into here, and then regardless continues the trend to the upside. So if the news gonna be good for the dollar will revisit this 5-minute fair gap, similar structure here with this breaker. Come on, bruh. Why is it working out? Alright. So yeah, that could also be the case. However, that should happen. This retrace into here should happen before we come into this target high time frame draw liquidity now. Because if we reach this level now and then we decide to do the retrace, then I'm kind of have to wait for this to be disrespected. This breaker here. News gonna come out in 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Yeah, today's move has already been very big, so healthy retrace would be nice. Into this 1 hour order block at least. I'm kind of seeking similar structures from previous days, but not really. Like, that's what I was expecting. For example, here we had this strong 4-hour fair gap here, and we closed the candle above. We did not close the candle above here, but you get the point. We still did a retrace into the 4-hour fair gap, and then chopped around, move higher. 4-hour fair gap here also tapped into it, even though the candle closed above, moved higher. 4-hour fair gap closed below the next hour, closed below the previous 4 candle, tapped into it, moved higher. Now we have this 4-hour fair gap, and yeah, I expected price to come back into it to move higher, but it just decided to move higher regardless this time. So let's see. What also could happen now is similar to this. We had this retrace here, and then price decided to move higher, close the candle above that high, just like we're gonna do very soon in 1 minute, and it just pushed higher basically. And this could easily happen, push higher into this area, but the issue with that is that this move would be ridiculously big. Like, this daily move would be 2% move. Like, look at these days, like 0.6. This move, let's see, 1%. So like, that's a way too big move to happen today in my eyes. Like a 2% move, that would be crazy. For the dollar, it would be a fucking, like, at least a 1.3%, 1.5% move. Like, these moves are way too big, way too big. Like, what was this? There had to be some kind of news, like high impact news here, and this was a 1.35, but probably this was a very significant news event here. Or this here, Asian session, something happened, probably new week opened, and no, it was on Wednesday. 2% move, okay. We might actually come for this breakaway gap here. But yeah, eventually the dollar has to come back to this breaker. Like, you see the trend here, high, lower low, lower high, high low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, lower low, and it just has to come back into this level here. It just has to. So our short, soon enough, like, I'm not a swing trader, but shorting Euro and GU in the next upcoming days for swing traders to target these levels here, this bigger order block where we broke structure to the upside, as kind of a win. Like, this daily here for GU could be one target. This order block here could be another target for shorters for Euro. Like, I don't think we're gonna sweep this high now. We first have to come back to the retrace for sure. So let's see. A news came out. Let's see. Good for the dollar. Meaning we're gonna do the retrace now, hopefully, very soon. We first might want to sweep this here, maybe not. If we inverse this 15 minutes, that's already a good indication that we're gonna disrespect this one here, probably. So Yeah, soon enough we can enter with a short. Finally. We're gonna have a break of structure on the euro once we close a candle below this low here. So on the 5 minute, that's our break of structure area. Now, if we do, and we do a retrace, maybe we form even a 5 minute bearish, then I can put my stop loss above this level here maybe, and target these here, but very bad risk reward. So ideally I just need a confirmation of this high not being swept anymore, so we can have a very good trade here with a very high risk reward. And the thing is, I do not know if we can close the candle very close to previous day's high. If we do, that would mean that this candle would have a very long wick. A long wick like this. Like that long wick with a very small body. So I don't know if that could be the case for today. I have never seen something like that. But I would love to take a short very soon. So this is the 50-minute fair gap that we're currently disrespecting. Looks like we are also breaking structure on the 5 minute with that. If we would be able to close this candle below this level here, we might gonna continue this bearish 5 minute candles down here, tap into this breaker, do the retrace into order block equilibrium level, and I'm gonna be able to short here and target those lows down there. That's the plan for the next few minutes. And I can have my stop loss up here then. On the 1 minute we already broke structure. Currently doing a small retrace into this. We tapped into this 1 minute bearish. It would be nice to see this candle to close with a long wick, or even better, a bearish body. What's this? Damn, that's cool. No, I need this cross. Okay. Looks like we don't want to break structure as of now on the 5 minute. It's not a clear, even if it closes like just slightly below it, it's not a clear 5 minute break of structure. So yeah, we did not yet close break structure. We did not yet break structure on the 5 minute. Looks like this 1 minute fair breakup also won't hold, and we're gonna form higher highs here, regardless of the good news for the dollar. Dollar is also falling probably. Yeah, it kind of wanted to respect this 50-minute fair gap here. It hasn't yet came into this breaker. It probably will, and then move lower to sweep this low. If not, then it's gonna disrespect it and do a small retrace into equilibrium, so we can enter with a short on the other pairs. So these are the two scenarios. Come into here, sweep this, move higher, or disrespect this, come back into somewhere here, and somewhere here enter on the euro. It could also just respect this now and sweep it now and move higher. What I don't want to see is just a continuation very long. Like, if that would happen, well then I'm surprised, honestly. I would be very surprised, because this move is ridiculously big. 1.5% just for some news that did not even align for this dollar fall. Alright, looks like we're forming a bullish 5 minute at least. Will we form it? Let's see. On euro, we don't have a 5 minute bullish. I mean, we don't have a 5 minute bearish that we're forming on the dollar now. And on GU, we don't have anything. GU is pretty weak, kind of preparing for the retrace. It will very soon tap into this area here, this daily fair value gap, I believe, that we marked out, and then probably do the retrace off of that. We can target this area here as our first TP if we would want to short GU, but I think it's better to short euro for some reason. We have more room. We're still forming a lower highs, but it could also be just a bullish flag once we tap into this breaker to move higher. So let's see. The dollar has indeed formed a 5 minute bullish fair value gap here, which it might gonna use to just come into this breaker to move lower. So let's keep an eye on that. So price might just step into here, come up here, sweep this low, break structure to the upside and move higher. The scenario I don't want to see is either disrespecting this 5 minute and just move lower into here, or tap into this 5 minute, move higher and just move completely lower. It might as well just not even tap into this 5 minute bullish and just what would be also nice is seeing disrespecting this breaker and then move higher. That would be nice, or tap into here, tap back into here and then move higher. So these are the scenarios I'm waiting for. Nice. Euro is breaking structure now on the 5 minute again, or at least trying to. Hopefully it's not just because of this breaker here to move higher. Even if it does, I'm gonna keep an eye on equilibrium here. So if it comes down to this breaker, comes back, I'm likely gonna enter with a short at this discount level here. I'm thinking since news already came out, if I would want to risk 1% as usual or not, since there are no news anymore that could affect the trade. It looks like we're coming into this 15 minute fair gap with the breaker. The dollar is doing the same thing. It disrespected this 15 minute bearish so far. So if I would enter short somewhere here, then first TP would be London high, obviously. So this would be my first TP. Second TP could be my 15 minute fair value gap up here. Third TP could be this low here, New York low. And TP4 could be this 4-hour fair value gap. And this would mean a 1 to 4.6 risk reward. Let's see how this 15th fair gap gonna react. How the price is gonna react off of this 15th fair value gap. It looks like it closed inside it, which is nice. There was no instant rejection off of it, meaning we don't really want to move lower, or at least maximum for a sweep here. Tap into this here. Yeah, if we would form a second 5-minute bullish fair value gap on the dollar, that would also kind of mean that we are likely not even gonna come down towards these lows, and I can put my stop loss up here. So far we have a 50-minute inverse, which is already very nice to see. Let's wait a little bit more just to confirm. A 50-minute bullish fair value gap on the dollar and a 50-minute bearish fair value gap on the euro would also be nice to see. However, so far it looks like we might not even form this 50-minute bearish, and we not even do this inverse here. We already filled up this 50-minute fair value gap, but that doesn't mean much. If you would form an inverse, that would be nice. We already have a 5-minute breakout structure. Ideally it would come up into equilibrium. We are pretty unlikely as of now that we're gonna form this inverse here. I'm actually gonna delete it to not bother much about it. We have a 5-minute breakout structure. We're about to tap into equilibrium, into this one here. But I gotta be careful because we might want to sweep this, tap into this here. I mean, why else would the dollar come down here? Then tap into this level at least. So this 5-minute fair gap hold, and also this 15-minute here, higher, stronger power. Gonna be curious whether this candle gonna overlap with this wick here or not, so we can form a 15-minute bullish fair gap. Euro hasn't tapped into equilibrium. But if I see a candle close below this low now, that's pretty much indicating that we are moving down from now on. Also, if this 50-minute candle will close with a very small body, that kind of also means we are unlikely to come back into even for this 50-minute bullish fair gap that we are about to form. In that case, I'm gonna enter short instantly. That would also mean that the euro gonna close this candle below this low here, or somewhere around this level. In that case, first TPs wouldn't be that great, but yeah, hopefully it will come back to equilibrium. GU is consolidating. It hasn't yet reached this high here. It would be nice to see like a kind of manipulation, like a consolidation, manipulation, distribution. That would be nice. Oh wow, okay. Looks like the dollar wants to move up. It's about to form this 50-minute then in the next 5 minutes. GU is also falling. And as I said, if this candle closes like this, I'm pretty much in. I'm gonna wait for price to come back up, hopefully to sweep this level here, maybe come back into equilibrium. I set a sell limit there now. Sell limit is set now. Hopefully it's gonna come back up there, and then we can go lower. So I'm gonna wait for price to come back up to that level now. Hopefully we will do that. We also have a 15-minute, a very, very small 15-minute fair gap here that we are currently forming. So hopefully this breaker will hold just to come push price up here, trap some long buyers, and then push lower. That's what I would want to see from the dollar, is that maybe come to this breaker, come back into 15-minute, and then push higher. So I have my sell limit order there. What worries me is this 30-minute fair gap, so ideally it won't push price back up over this high here. I'm risking only 0.5% now. In this trade. We broke short on the 5-minute, came back into here, instant bearish candle right next to it. Hopefully we're gonna come up here, form a small higher high, but then move lower instantly. Alright, the dollar is coming back down for this 50-minute fair gap. That's about to form. I'm actually not gonna make the same mistake as yesterday, so I'm actually gonna wait for the dollar to tap back into this 15-minute fair gap first, and then enter off of that. So my entry could be even more precise on euro. So we have 1 minute and 17 seconds for that to play out. So in the next 1 minute, once this candle closes, in the next 1 minute, ideally price won't push below this level here, the top of this 50-minute fair gap mark, that it's not yet formed. So this 1 minute candle should not go deep. In that case, if that happens, if this candle closes or even pushes below this level here, that means this 50-minute fair gap will not form. So, but if the next 29 seconds this candle goes like this, then in the next minute we tap into this 50-minute fair gap, and then that would mean that we're gonna use this 15-minute bullish fair gap as our push to the upside. All right, 10 seconds. Okay, so this 15 fair gap is getting smaller now, and this 15 fair gap formed, officially formed. Now a small tap into it would be nice, just like that. if I see any kind of move to the upside off of it, I'm entering short on euro, even if price is gonna fall instantly, I'm gonna enter them a bit lower. But yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm not gonna get stopped out now, because dollar might as well. Gonna disrespect this 15-minute fair value gap and sweep this low here. And if that happens, I would have gotten stopped out on euro. So let's wait for that. Any kind of move to the upside on the 5-minute, a 5-minute bullish candle close would indicate that this 15-minute fair value gap holds, and we're gonna move higher, and I can short euro. So if this 5-minute candle closes with a long wick, or even better, a orange body, a bullish body, then I instantly press sell on euro. Euro also came into equilibrium now. Nicely. So far everything looks good. I just need a bullish candle close on the dollar. GU might actually gonna do what I showed you guys, is step into here and then move lower. In that case, what would be the targets? I mean, I could target this here. I could target this low here. But I'm not interested in GU, I'm interested in euro. And what the dollar is doing. Looks like it wants to go lower. Let's see how this 5-minute fair gap gonna hold or not. If not, it's probably gonna just sweep this low, and I'm gonna be happy for not entering short on euro. But if it's gonna be a bullish body, even better. A bullish 5-minute candle here would be nice. Yes, just like that, just a little bit more push. Nice, very good. We still have 1 minute. I'm not gonna enter. Euro already pushed down, it's fine, I'm not worried about that, that I did not enter from here. It's fine, I can take it. Beautiful. All right, that's actually gonna be enough for me. Or is it? Why do I make so many questions? No, I'm gonna wait for that to close like that. If it closes like that, I'm gonna enter. I'm not gonna overcomplicate stuff. I'm gonna risk a little bit more than in the trade, since the euro already started falling. I'm gonna risk the same lot size, but obviously then I'm gonna risk a bit more than 0.5%. Nice. All right, 10 seconds. Nice. I entered with a short on euro. Stop us above this high here. right there, risking about 0.65% now on this trade, and TP1 will be like around a 1-to-1. I'm gonna take out like 33%, TP2 another 33%, no, TP2 0.5%, and then from then on 0.5%. So let's see whether we get stopped out or not. Maybe I should have waited for the 50-minute candle to close above this 50-minute fair gap, and not just this 5-minute candle to close like that. We will see whether it was a mistake or not in the upcoming minutes. I could also extend my stop loss, but I'm not a fan of that. If I take the loss, I take the loss. It's fine. I am slightly bit worried that it wants to sweep this here, but I convinced myself that this 5-minute bullish candle close was enough for me to enter. Hopefully I was correct. Let's see. We might gonna get a liquidity sweep to move lower. In that case, we're gonna have 2 losses in a row. Oh damn, looks like we are about to get stopped out from our short very soon. Well, yeah, the dollar looks like it wanted to sweep this low. Unfortunately, it has broken structure to the downside, and will continue the trend and sweep this low probably, and then move back higher. Do I want to trade that with the remaining 0.35%? I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna set back for the day. Not really care about this loss. Do a recap later in this video to show you guys what I missed, what I could have learned from this. But yeah, first let's see whether it's gonna hit our stop loss or not, because that's cruel. Whatever Euro is doing, it's so cruel. All right, I got stopped out finally. It is edging us for a long time now. Yeah, just 1 second, I'm gonna do the recap really fast. Alright, quick recap of the day. I'm quite shocked, honestly, and the reason for that is that today's move was even bigger than yesterday's move. 1.85%, almost 200 pips, almost 200 pips, I believe, if I'm correct. That is very unusual. As far as I know, Euro usually makes 70 to 100 pips a day, like top to bottom, bottom to top. This is double of that, and it's very, very shocking. So I expected a little pullback, obviously. As you can see on the 4-hour, there was this 4-hour fair gap, which included also 1-hour fair gap inside it. And in London, you know, we weren't doing much. New York opened, and I expected a pullback here to then go for long. I was actually considering to take short once I saw that we were about to sweep London's highs here. Once New York opened, I was expecting the sweep and then a pullback, but did not happen. Did not happen at all. So I was just waiting, and like this move already, where I was waiting for like, okay, now we gotta go down. It's already 1.65% move. How far can it go? Like I genuinely can believe how strong it is. So I was waiting, and I got a 5-minute break of structure here. So you got this 5-minute break of structure, and then basically it pulled back into here, and you know, you saw the video probably. With the dollar giving some confluences that it wants to go up, I entered with a short on euro. Well, it was chopping around in our entry, at our entry price, and then it just slowly came for our stop loss, and hasn't stopped yet. Like it's still going up. I am surprised very much, since look at these daily candles. Like Monday, okay, that's a normal size bullish candle. Okay, we inverse this daily, sure. Yesterday, huge move, 1.5%. That's huge. I'm like, all right, we gotta come back into this order block here. We gotta come back into this order block. No, did not happen. It was a completely bullish trend, and actually I'm kind of disappointed that I should have followed the bias that if the 4 is bullish and the 1 hour is bullish, I should look for buys. What did I do? Not look for buys and just waited for a reversal. And I was quite confident, honestly. I was quite confident since this move has been so big. I was like, it's gotta come back now. It has to come back. Well, it didn't. So I learned a big lesson here. Don't just believe, and don't just fucking estimate stuff when the market is clearly not showing any signs of that. So yeah, we will see how tomorrow's setup gonna be. Probably Euro, GUD reach these highs, these targets that we marked out, this high time frame drawn liquidity. I genuinely believe that they really have to calm down. GU and both Euro, like, just do a retrace at least. Just do a retrace. Hopefully tomorrow we can short, and if not tomorrow, because of the news, I don't know if I would want to trade tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. There are plenty of news here. I do not know if I would want to take a trade tomorrow, due to all these events here. But we will see. Maybe after 3 p.m. I will see a setup. But yeah, losing streak continues. So quite unfortunate. But we're learning a lot of lessons here, and we're here to get this market experience for free, and I'm happy for that I can get all this experience, all these losses for completely free. I don't lose any money off of that, so I'm quite happy that I use my brain here. Dollar has also reached this drawn liquidity here. Like, come on guys. Here's the trend. Here's the high. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. What happens? Lower high. So once the dollar does the retrace to the upside, that would mean that the euro can also do the retrace to the downside. And I was expecting for that to happen today into this breaker, since this candle closed yesterday like that. I'm like, all right, We're gonna pull back and then move lower. No, well, not today at least. Hopefully tomorrow or the day after we're gonna do this pullback. Probably those news gonna affect that and um, do that. We will see. Or just I honestly don't know. So we gotta see what this news gonna show us. How they're gonna turn out. So basically, one main thing what I really should have done, and actually I even talked about it live when this was happening, is that I even thought to myself, for some reason I completely disregarded it, is that once I see a 15-minute candle close above this London high here, that quite literally indicates that we're gonna move higher. And I was aware of that for sure. I was aware of that, but for some reason I didn't want to take a long trade, even though it was quite a good like 5-minute bullish fair gap here. Tap back into this London high area. Like I could have executed off of that, but I just did not want too long since it already made such a huge move already. It already made like 1.25%, and longing from here, like in my eyes it was way too risky, because how far can it go? Like I wouldn't have believed that it's gonna go even more up, and once it did I was quite sure that it's gonna come down now, and like it just can't move forever to the upside, and it did. So I got proven wrong. I didn't risk 1%, so I lost 0.65%, I believe, on the trade. Unlucky. That's it. I underestimated what the market can do with these daily price actions, to be honest. It could be because of the February price action. I don't know, because February I think never once happened that it did such a big move, almost 2% daily move in February, and I kind of got used to it probably. I don't know if previous months we could see such a big move, probably not. Maybe only when like FOMC or some kind of very high impact news come out, but even if they come out, they don't do 2%, I think. So it was a very crazy day today. Yeah, that's it for the recap. Another loss, it's fine. Learned from it, and yeah, that's it. So see you guys in the next video probably.